Hey everyone, how's it going? Octopus here and welcome back to Union Cross. So, welcome to my free-to-play account. This is Smelly and we are going to be doing the trait roll on Axel B. So we are going to trade him right now. Let's go for, since he is a multiplier that really relies on being the beginning, you could put this guy on slot 3 by the testing I just did. It looks like even in slot 3, it doesn't drop too much, but once you hit slot 4 and 5, his damage goes straight down to the 1.72. But while it was in slot 1, 2, and 3, the damage wasn't too far off. But we'll do another test when he's fully guilted. So, that being said, I do believe that Axel is going to be in the beginning of a Keyblade, and extra attack will be number 1 on this. So, number 1 trait to get on Axel B is extra attack. You guys want to get that times 6 strength buff. That's amazing off one medal, especially for free-to-play players who don't have illustrated VV with double cast or anything like that, or just don't have illustrated VV. So number 1, I would be going for extra attack. Number 2, for raiders, guys, raid damage is raid damage. You guys want a medal that's going to buff and do raid damage, you can use them, but I wouldn't use this guy personally for raiding just because. But having a times 6 strength buff and a raid medal that does damage on a Keyblade that it's the 3rd slot or 2nd slot reverse power is still pretty good. But obviously it's the negative 60s. You want to go for one of the negative 60s, so let's go for the traits right now. Let's aim for extra attack. If not extra attack, we are going to aim for the negative 60s here. So number 1 here, number 1 is going to be our first trait roll, guys. So hopefully out of my 6 tries I actually get something good. Damage and raids. Oh man, just when I say it, it's always when I say it's like, hey, I don't want raid damage. Guess what the game gives me? Raid damage. I honestly, personally don't like raiding, guys. So anything else besides raiding, I will take. I will take that 1000 strength. I am done with raiding, to tell you the truth. It just takes up too much time, and I don't have time. So what do we got? Ground. I will take ground. So we're not getting extra attack, but we did get a ground trait, which is totally fine with me. Got to make sure that I don't screw any of this up. That is enough there. Don't forget, stop at 3 copies in 1 on your first one. You don't want to go any further than that. Okay, so I'm just going to throw one of these guys in. Alright, so that's our first one. I don't know if I can evolve them, actually. Actually, I can. Alright, we're good. So that's our first Axel. Jumped up to a 3.4 multiplier. And let's grab our second one down. So we're going to lock this one. This is going to be our second one. We're going to level up and then combine them. Let's try to go for that extra attack for 2 more or 3 more times. So here's another chance at extra attack, guys. Defense plus 2000. That's all right. That's all right. As long as we did get one good trade out of the freaking, what, 12 traits or 11 traits there is. Extra attack would be really nice. I don't need it personally on this account. Actually, I think I do need it on this account. But you know what? If we don't get it, we don't get it. There's nothing we can do about it. Let me throw that back to experience. Optimize it. 80 out of 80. Let's level it up and evolve it. I don't have enough evolve materials to do my whole inventory, so I'm using 0 AP right now to do as much as I can. But here we go. Here's my guilt roll, and let's just make sure this is the one that has the trait I want. Perfect. Undo this experience, unlock him, and here we go, guys. Here's a guilt, and the last chance at a trait roll. Axel B. You know what? I'm good so far. Negative 60 I'm happy with. Anything with negative 60 will help you, but the problem is he's in the beginning of the multiplier on the Keyblade. 76%. Oh god. Why? Why not like 80 or more? That's okay. Extra attack? Defense plus 2000. Alright, so looks like we're not getting extra attack. I'm not too disappointed, but at the same time, a times 6 power buffer would have been amazing. But sadly, my free-to-play account, that's not going to happen. This is a limited medal, but because of his multiplier, I don't want to go too crazy with mirrors here. See, I got to put on experience or this happens. So I don't want to go too crazy. I'm going to test him out right now with you guys to see him do some potential. He's at 100 right now. I'm going to leave everything the way it is. No skill, no nothing. And let's go test it out again on those enemies to see if we can actually do difference in slot 1, 2, or 3. I'll be right back. Alright, as for Keyblade setups, this medal is very, very awkward when you're trying to go by its multiplier for the most damage. Now 3.56 multiplied by 100% is well over 7 multiplier, which is nice. It's 7.12 and max, which is not bad. If you copy with the key art, obviously there has to be in a slot where the key art can copy, so like beginnings on here on Olympia, or sorry, Moogle Glory. that's where it'd probably be the best, just to get that double ×6 and do both damage. But you're missing your ×6 strength buffer, like 0.2 carry or whatever your strength buffers are. So he's very, very awkward where he stands. But I want to test out his multiplier. Does it do damage in the first slot? And what's the difference in the third slot? How much of a difference is there? So let's go to, let's say, level, I don't know, level 100 enemies. Let's go, okay, level 140. Let's see if we can do some damage at level 140. I'm not going to put nothing on him. I just want to test out him on the first slot and the third slot of Olympia. Just because Olympia at this level, their slot multipliers are exactly the same. So right here, he's got a max multiplier of 3.66 to 6.27. So right now, he's going to do a 6.27 to these guys, which is 3,396 to the invisible. So 396 is one of the attacks. We'll say 3,400 on the invisible. 3,400, a little over. That should be a good range. Now let's switch it up to the third slot and see how much of a difference there is in damage. Now obviously the higher the level the enemies get, so on and so on, there's more things to take in factor. The lower your multiplier, the less you're going to do to certain enemies. But let's just try to keep it basic and see of dropping it down 2 more slots will make that much of a multiplier. Because I don't think that it actually drops straight from 3 point something down to 1.7. I think it has some multiplier in between, but we're about to find out. So the new damage is 2,900. Again, I'm going to try this one more time. So let's try this again. Let's just do it one more time. Third slot. We're looking at 3,000. So yeah, it's about a 400 to 500 drop in damage. So on the second slot there, I'm going to test out the same thing. Let me just remove all this. So same multiplier, 1.80. Let's go try this out. This is the third test. So we have 34, 29, and now let's see what the second slot does. Same multiplier. It's going to do the same amount of damage. It might be a difference in the Keyblade, that this Keyblade does more of a damage multiplier than that Keyblade, but it should be all around the same. So 3,173, you guys can see that it's in a multiplier in between. So definitely first slot, most damage. Second slot, so much, not so far off, not too crazy, but there's still a difference. And then third slot is like your limit point. Because on the fourth and fifth slot, I've tested already, it's just terrible. So you definitely want to put them on the first 3 slots, most likely the first 2. So you can see right there, 3,318. The one we tested, 200 off, so off. So you don't have to put him right in the beginning, but you guys can see there's that issue of where he has to be placed, which kind of sucks. So we do have him guilted. He does have a good buff, which does make up for a lot. So even though he's not going to do crazy potential damage, he will buff every other power metal on your Keyblade, and that's what makes it so good. So Dark Nah. Its first and third slot multiplier. Its first multiplier at level 25 is 1.9, and the third one is a 2.5. So Axel B is kind of made for that. Besides that, if you're pushing him any farther, you got to make sure that multiplier on the Keyblade is huge, and that is like Fairy Stars and Dark Knot at a high level. You just got to make sure that that multiplier hits 3 to make up for the loss of his multiplier. But again, he is losing out a lot of natural multiplier if he goes higher in the Keyblade, but that doesn't mean that it's not good, because then you just pretend that his multiplier is originally only like 2 point something or 1.7, but that is a very, very low multiplier for a tier 3. So it does hurt that this guy is only going to be in the beginning, because it is Axel, and Axel's like a favorite to so many people. So it sucks to see that they made him good, but limited to where he can be placed and not used as a main damage dealer. So what we could do, which I'm going to do right now, is put him on a Keyblade and copy him. So the only one I can actually do that to is on Olympia. So let's switch up Olympia over here. Let's actually throw down, take away this, and we're going to add Axel here. So let's see if Axel's going to do some damage being copied by, let's say if Axel B was a fully guilted tier 5 attack boost 4 max. This is pretty much what he would do. I'm going to take away some more here and add Nominate, because Nominate is going to copy this to give me more buffs than Akari will. Just because I don't have to restore SP since it's just a test, I just want to test as much buffs as possible. Let's see if we can do damage to this level 500. Yes, I did complete all the Proud Plus on my free-to-play account. I'm very excited about that. I believe we might not make it past all this, actually. We might not make it all past this. But let me just try this out again. Right here, doing some damage, which is surprising. Actually, the mouse, that's why. The mouse has debuffs. But here we go. 68,229. Everything's going to survive. I'm probably not going to be able to finish it off with these guys here. This guy's not guilted, but my copy metal is guilted of that, but I don't think it's strong enough. So we might not make it past this point right here. We're definitely going to die, that's for sure. Let's just test it out. If second chance goes off, I'll continue. If it doesn't, it does go off. All right, so we will continue. See if I can get to the last guy there. Get some damage off. I'm not going to use this. I'm going to tap and then use this right here because we do not have any SP restore, so it's kind of bad. All right, so first group down. Let's go to the second one, and let's just try this out. Hopefully, I can make it past this part. I doubt it, but hopefully I do. All right, so here we go. Here's the Trick Master. Let's see if we can do some damage to him. He's got level 500. The defense is kind of different in here compared to like Coliseum and also normal monsters. This guy kind of has like the defense of a raid boss, but not really. But either way, let's do some damage to him. Let's see, again, a tier 5 Axel B if you copy him. Is it worth it? 41,000 per hit. That is not that bad. If we're looking at 41,000 per hit, that's over 450,000 damage. So 450,000 damage on slot 4 is pretty good. That's not thing to like, oh, it's no good. That's pretty good, guys. But that is being copied, so it is questionable if it's worth it. But if you guys got nothing else, at least you do have that option right there to copy him. So you get a times 6 power buff off him and a pretty good damage. So by the looks of it, I could pass this guy with that setup. Let me try that again. So right here, we're gonna get our times 4 buff going on. Actually, the second chance thing doesn't count over here. It's not like the other quest I showed you for to actually get Axel B. The counters don't reset when it comes to this enemy here, but we still gonna do some pretty good damage. Yeah. 40,000 over 10 is over 40,000 damage, over 400,000 damage. 440,000 in this case right here, a little bit less, but guys, that isn't that bad, especially for my free-to-play account. That is some good damage right there. Now, I probably should have used Nova to finish this guy off, but you guys can see right there, boom. Axel B actually did some good damage. That's you know what? There you go. So yes, it's not on the first or second slot, but almost 500,000 damage is damage, guys. That's really, really good. So with the proper buffs and debuffs, Axel B can be a pretty good medal. Take what you guys want from it. The last thing to talk about is skills. He's 1 gauge, guys, so you don't need SP gauge or anything to reduce it. So if you did get extra attack, you still throw an attack boost on this guy. Now, would I recommend attack boost 4 max or anything like that? No, because 1, he is going to be your buffer mainly, and 2, if you want real damage, you're going to have to copy him, so your copy medal should have the attack boost 4 max on it. As for his basically attack boost 4, just put an attack boost 4 on him. If you have no attack boost 4s, put attack boost 3. It's straightforward, nothing really crazy about this medal. Get it 100% guild, it'll do even more damage, but again, it's situational where it sits. But if you have it and a copycat medal, that is a times 6 power buff right there. And if he does have his own negative 60, put him on the Dark Maw on the first slot and then a copy medal on the second slot. That's guilted. If you have the extras, you guys can get your times 6 strength there, do some damage, and then the rest of your Keyblade can be a 0.2 carry and 2 heavy hitters. So either way, guys, that is my medal spotlight. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a little bit more about Axel B. And tell me what you guys got for traits and guilds in the comment section. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Keep on smiling, and I'll see you in the next one.